Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Melanie Dean. I'm a psychologist, a scientist, and a Hay House author of the book, The Hidden Power of Emotions. And you're listening to the Wave Maker podcast, where we explore how your emotions are real energy waves that are more powerful than you think. And so are you. When you learn how to tap the power of your emotions, you can attract everything in life that you want. It's not just positive thinking, it's science, and I will show you how. Hello, I'm speaking to you today from my cabin in the mountains of Wyoming, and I want to talk with you today about worry and how worry zaps your health, and how you can transform worry to be confident and powerful and healthy in your everyday life. Worry, we've all felt it. It all comes our way for a variety of reasons. And what's it due to? It's due to fear and anxiety about the future, primarily uncertainty about what's best to do. Think about a time in your life, and I know you can identify a time in your life when you had a lot on your mind, but you felt clear about how to proceed. So when in the past you've had confidence about how to proceed during a difficult time in your life, that was you feeling confident and clear about what your next best steps were and making decisions that you felt good about that were right for you. Well, you have a built-in guidance system where you can have that confidence anytime you want it. It's called your intuition. I've spent 10 years studying the science of the power of our emotions, including the emotion of intuition, and it's scientifically real. It's automatically built into each one of us. It is our way of navigating this world and knowing what is right for us to do. So instead of staying with worry that causes illness and disease, you can transform that by practicing and getting comfortable and getting solid in how your intuition communicates with you so that you can live a healthy life and you can live happy. Recently, I had such an opportunity to really tune in to my intuitive guidance. I had this opportunity that was ramped up worry. I had a wacky rash that I had to go to the doctor for, and this rash was all over my body from my neck to my toes, front and back, and it was very strange. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, indeed, a very curious rash, and we're going to take some biopsies to see what this rash is, what's causing this rash. And, the doctor listed off a variety of things that could cause the rash, including the word cancer, which, of course, all my alarm bells went up. And then the doctor said, well, I'll be in touch with you in 2 to 3 weeks with the results of the testing. So I left the doctor's office, and you can imagine what I was feeling. You would probably be feeling the same thing. I was fearful. I was worried. My whole system seemed to be charged up with worry and anxiety and fear. Fear about the future. What would this mean for me and my family if indeed this was cancer? And 2 to 3 weeks was a very long time to wait. So usually, I have my quiet time, my powerful quiet time in which I get in touch with my intuitive guidance. I usually do that every morning. And that's such good time for me to set my intentions and be aware of what is mine to do for achieving what I want in life, tapping into my intuition. But this day, I went home and I had a good solid block of quiet time with myself, with my intuitive wise self in the middle of the day. And it was really quite powerful because as I calmed down and I got in touch with my wise, intuitive guidance inside of myself, which I have and I'm well tuned to, and you have, and you can be well tuned to. In that calmness and hearing my guidance, everything calmed down and I had a smile on my face because I realized the truth that I have the guidance to deal with whatever comes my way, to make good decisions, the best decisions that are right for me and my health, to be my healthiest self in that time and today, and to know what's right for me and that I can get through any difficult challenge, including whatever the outcome is of the testing that I just did. And that was just beautiful. It was like I had that confidence, the confidence that I have what I need to face whatever challenge it is. And my worry evaporated. Well, it didn't evaporate just like that, but actually by the end of the day, it was gone. It was like that. I had that confidence that calmed down when I got in touch with my intuitive guidance. And the next morning I woke up and this worry wasn't even present for me because I knew that I had what I needed to face whatever was coming my way, whether that be good results or not good results. You too have that built-in guidance. But let's look at what if I didn't know I had that built-in guidance and I didn't tap in to that intuitive, confident place to know what decisions were right for me. What if I didn't know that and I stayed with worry? Because you have the opportunity to stay with worry too. We have many worrisome situations in life. So what would have happened inside of me when I say that worry causes illness and disease? How does it do that? And how is it that having guidance and confidence and clarity on how to proceed is healthier? Well, if you've heard any of my previous podcasts or heard me speak, you've heard me say that every time you have an emotion, your body creates molecules to match that emotion. Now, you've heard of some of these molecules, like let's look at the fear molecule. So the fear molecule is called adrenaline. Whenever you feel afraid, your body creates lots of this adrenaline molecule. Now, the molecules of your emotions are made out of the same thing, the same energy elements that everything in the world is made of, that you've heard of, like carbon and hydrogen and nitrogen and oxygen. Well, your feeling molecules are made of the same thing. And each of those molecules has a unique shape and a unique spin, an angle of its spin, a speed of the spin, and it has a unique wave pattern. So every emotion that you have has a unique wave pattern and has a unique spin and shape to it. It is through that unique spin, shape, and wave pattern that it communicates to the cells in your body. Your cells have receptors on the outer layer of the cell that when there is a match, that is communication. It's kind of like a lock and a key when you have the right code that your smartphone opens the door because the code matches. Well, it's similar in your body when the shape and the spin and the wave pattern of those molecules of emotion match certain receptors on the cells, all the cells in your body. Then they communicate a signal to those cells. So let's look at that adrenaline molecule. What does it communicate to the cells of your body? It communicates danger. So when you have fear, there's something to be afraid of. That says to the cells in your body, danger. Now, worry and anxiety is in the same family as danger. There is something to be worried about. There is something to be anxious about. And your body, the cells in your body, they do not know the difference whether you are worried and anxious over a health concern, over finances, over a relationship, or whether there's something really serious to be worried about, like there's a fire in front of you and you better run. All the cells in your body know is that that molecule with its particular shape and pattern and spin and wave pattern communicated danger. And when the cells in your body receive the communication of danger, they go into action. And instead of doing perhaps what they were meant to do, like for example, the cells in your gut are meant to break down the food you eat. The cells in your heart are meant to pump blood through your body. The cells in your liver, they are meant to take care of toxins in your body. So instead of those cells doing what they're meant to do, because they have DNA instructions that say to them, this is your job. Now, they can't just all of a sudden switch jobs, like a heart cell can't become a liver cell and a kidney cell can't become a lung cell. So they can't just switch jobs, but they can change their functioning. They can reduce their functioning, which allows more resources to go where it's needed. So when you get a danger signal, the functioning is reduced in those areas of your body that are not needed to flee or fight the danger. So remember, worry and anxiety is in this family of a danger signal. So when you have worry and anxiety, it communicates to things like your stomach and your liver and your kidneys and your brain. Reduce your functioning and send all of your resources to where it's needed, which is the heart and the lungs and the muscles, because you have to either fight or flee this danger. So that means that you have reduced functioning in those other organs in your body. Your stomach and your gut and your kidneys and your liver and your brain and all these other parts of your body that are not essential for fleeing danger. They no longer have the resources they need to function optimally. They are functioning in danger mode. So if you have danger mode and worry and anxiety that is short term, your body recovers. You are not doing damage to your body. You're doing what your body's meant to do, which is to attend to the danger, recover from the danger, and go back to healthy functioning. But when you have long-term worry and anxiety, and it's a habit, it's a pattern for you, where you have not figured out yet how to transform that into a calm, confident place where you can go about dealing with the difficulties in your life. If you stay with the worry and the anxiety, you are setting up reduced functioning in important organs in your body, and that often leads to illness and sometimes leads to disease. So you will not be able to be your healthiest self. The signals that are telling your cells in your body to be healthy and function to their highest, those communication signals don't happen when you have worry and anxiety. So it's important that you're aware of that worry and anxiety and be able to transform it to calm confidence where you can go about your way. You may not know the future, but you do know that you're in touch and feeling confident about what steps are right for you to make. So when you are having these confident feelings and they're calm and you're knowing what pathway forward is best for you to take, those emotions in your body, they have a different wave pattern. They have a very smooth, even, calm wave pattern. And they have a spin and a charge and a frequency and a shape of those molecules that communicates something very different to the cells in your body. All of that communicates the primary communication that's a match on the cells, all your cells. The communication signal says safety. All is well. And when those cells in your body receive the signal that there is safety, all is well, meaning calm, I know I'm going about my way, I may not know the future, but I have a pathway that I feel good about, these decisions are good for me. You can be calm. The cells in your body receive this signal that all is fine. There's nothing to be worried about. There's no fear, danger signals, and they can then function to their highest ability, which means your healthiest self. So it's so important for you to be aware of when you have this worry happening so that you then can take the opportunity to get in touch with the very wise, real, scientifically real, intuitive guidance that you have built into you, so that you can have confidence in making good decisions that are right for you. So you now know how important it is to transform that worry, because that worry can lead to illness and disease when it lasts too long in your body. Small bits of worry are natural and they don't cause problems. It's the chronic, everyday, all day worry and anxiety that many people have because they're just not aware. So this is your chance and your opportunity to be aware. So I'm going to give you 4 steps, and I've already talked about all 4 steps. So the first step in transforming worry into being a calm, purposeful, powerful, healthy place in your life is to be aware. The first step is to be aware. Catch yourself in that worry. You can feel the worry. You'll have probably an amped up heart rate. You'll be a little more tense. You'll have some chaotic thoughts. You'll have anxiety. You can feel that worry. It's like a in your body. You're familiar with it. You can get in touch with it. You say, I know what that worry feels like. So be aware of it. Be aware of it. And then identify what it is that you are worried about. Well, okay, you say, duh, like, okay, of course, I'm worried. But you could have this generalized worry that there are so many things in your life or issues that many people have what's called generalized worry or generalized anxiety, and that's not really very clear. So get clear. What are you worried about? Are you worried about specifically a health concern that you need guidance on what's best for you to do? Are you worried about a financial concern? And again, you need to know what is best for you to do, what steps to take, what resources are available for you out there. Are you worried about a loved one? And you want to be the best help and support you can for that loved one, but you're not really very sure about what that is? Or perhaps your loved one, what's going on with them affects your life. So then you're worried about, well, what do I do if this happens? So you have some worries about your future and what all this means for you. So those are your worries. And next, step 3, what guidance is it that you specifically are wanting? Now, you may want several pieces of guidance because maybe there are several concerns. So just take one at a time. That's the easiest way to proceed. So just take one piece at a time. If, for example, you have a relationship that's worrying you and it's got conflict in it, and you really don't want that conflict, that causes difficulty for you and your family, and you want guidance. How do you mend that relationship? How do you bring resolve to that relationship? That's a piece of guidance that you're wanting. Let's go back to the concern of a loved one. You have a loved one that you want to know how to be supportive of them with what is going on with them, and you're also perhaps wanting a piece of guidance for what if in your own future. So choose one of those. Either, how do I be supportive of my loved one? Or, what if XYZ happens, and what does that mean for my life? How will I proceed? That's a different piece of guidance. So choose the specific piece of guidance that you are wanting. And then step 4 is to have quiet time every day with yourself so that you really know when you are in touch with this intuitive guidance system that you have, your own inner GPS. Your intuitive guidance system will speak to you in the same ways that you have calm, clear knowing of what it is you want guidance about. So as you release all of these other things and you say, okay, this is what I'm worried about, when you name it, that calms you. When you identify what you want guidance for, that calms you. You then have calmer feelings inside of yourself that produce smooth, even waves. And those are real scientifically proven waves of energy. And those waves, because they are evenly spaced and they are predictable in their pattern, they can easily sync with other similar waves. And when they sync like this is when those energy waves within you for what it is you're wanting, and the frequency and the spin and the wave pattern of that calmness and what you're desiring syncs up with similar other waves. And this is your guidance. This is your intuitive guidance saying this is a match. You can feel the sureness of that match when you're in touch with your intuitive guidance. It will feel like a knowing, a calm knowing within yourself. It will feel like, that's right. You'll have an idea, you'll have a nudge, you'll have a clear sense that this is right for me. If it feels chaotic And if you have a jumble of thoughts and feelings that are happening for you at the same time, and you say, well, if I don't know if this is it or if this is just my head talking to me, well, then it's not your guidance. At least you're not clear that that's your guidance. You're not fully in touch with it. You have a lot of other things going on. So again, use whatever strategy works for you to calm your body. Calm your mind, use music, do a little journaling, do some breathing exercises, do some meditation exercises so that you can calm your body and calm your mind. And when you do, then you can be in touch with your intuitive wise self. Many people describe that as a warm place in their heart. For me, a smile comes to my face because I'm like, that's right, that's right. And so there's lots of different ways in which people feel it, and you have to get in touch with how do you feel your guidance. So practice it. Practice it for some small things so that when it gets to the big things of worry, you will know what's your guidance and what is not your guidance. So practice it on, just little everyday things, like if you want to go to the grocery store and you want to know whether they have a certain item and which store to go to, just say, should I go to this store or this store, and get calm and quiet. See if your guidance will talk to you. See how your communication is with your guidance. And then you can use it for bigger things. So I want you to know that you have the ability, you have the built-in guidance system to transform your worries into confidence and clarity for a pathway for yourself where you don't have to tap into those tugs of worry. You can let the worries go. They won't even pull at you very hard because you have confidence in what pathway and what is right for you to do proceeding forward. This is a powerful skill that you have, and it's so good to feel the power of that. When you feel the power of that, you feel like you can tackle the world and any challenge and any difficulty that comes your way. Now, because I thought it might be helpful to hear from someone else who's used these 4 steps to calmly create a good outcome on a big health concern that she had, I've invited my dear friend Valerie Mackey to share with you how she created a positive outcome for her health and to calmly go into a very big surgery in which she was even able to influence the surgeons to be calm. Valerie, thank you so much, my dear friend, for joining us, and thank you for being willing to share.
Oh, I'm so delighted to be here with you. I just, and I love to share this story because I do call this my life transformation moment. Because it was a moment that I found my power, and I've been able to apply it since then in other situations. And so, it was, we were out to dinner one evening and I was about to have this surgery, and it became kind of this huge thing that had just grown and grown with each one of my doctor visits, my biopsies and things, that it just grew till suddenly I had 3 doctors coming in to do this surgery. And it was in an area that I'd had several surgeries before. There was a lot of concern, a lot of, and that just kind of made me go into this place of fear, worry. I had gotten myself I dug myself in a hole, and you heard that. And for a while, we just kind of talked about it and stuff. And then all of a sudden, you turned over the receipt, this little receipt piece of paper. You actually asked the server for a piece of paper, and they took part of a receipt and gave you a pen. And be okay if I show you? I have the actual piece of paper.
Yes, please show it. Please show it.
Anyway, this is the little piece of paper, and you drew a little smiley face and some wiggly lines, and then you drew a little frowny face. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but
yes, it says on the right, it says skillful, competent, confident, and calm is what it says on the right with the face.
My 3 doctors.
Oh, okay. Yes,
absolutely. So now I had it laminated later because I needed to keep using it for a while. But this little piece of paper, you drew this about happy feelings, and it described to me the science of it, and it made sense to me. So I tucked this little piece of paper into my passport in my purse, and and the next few days were a few days of me peeking at this, because I'm a visual learner, and it helped me to identify and just really see the difference. And then a really beautiful thing happened as those days were continuing, is I felt it.
Hmm.
And it was an unmistakable feeling of just hopefulness and positivity, and releasing of all of these yucky fears and stuff, all the jagged lines. I was letting go of those jagged lines. And so here's where the proof is in the pudding, or my moment of proof. And when I went to my surgery, I was in the room about to go in with my 3 doctors, and I pulled out this piece of paper, and I said, okay, this surgery is going to go so much better than we had thought. And this is you guys, and this is me. And I'm sending all of these wonderful feelings of knowing that I'm confident. You guys are confident. You guys are so skillful, and we are all calm and competent and able to do this with ease. That was one thing that I said, is with ease. And one doctor was like, yeah, I can feel that. My doctor, who'd been so nervous about it, I saw her relax.
Wow.
She just totally relaxed. And I went into the surgery with not a care in the world, really. I just knew it was all going to go perfectly. And I got my proof afterwards. The first thing that my doctor said to me, who had been so nervous, and she said, you were right. It went easier than anyone expected. It was like everything just kind of moved to the side, and everything just went so smoothly. And I was like, I knew it.
Wow.
So it was really a great event.
So I heard 2 things in there. One, and I'm curious about both. You made a shift from the worry and the anxiety when we were talking about that at the restaurant, and you understood this picture I drew. You understood it intellectually, but you made a feeling shift, because then you said you felt the power of that. Can you describe that and what happened there that shifted for you to feel that power?
It was, I needed the visual, being the type of learner I am. But as soon as I saw the visual, it was like it sunk into me, and I could feel the physical difference between each of the emotions, and the feeling of the power of that feeling within me was unmistakable. It was different, and it was a hopeful, and it felt good. People around me felt good, and here I was going into this kind of yucky surgery, and but it was just good stuff was pouring out of me, and the difference, I felt it in everything that I was doing, even just like doing little things around the house. It was that.
This is so remarkable to me. Also, in my memory that night when we're at the restaurant, you shared with me that a great deal of your worry and anxiety was about the past, because your grandmother, who raised you for the most part, died from a similar surgery. So that amped up your worry and your anxiety really high.
it brought with it some history of feelings as too, which and one thing you said that night was, you said, well, it's not you, and that you were right. And so I kind of honored that feeling of her, while releasing that wasn't me.
That wasn't.
And yeah, and I was a lot younger than she was, and there were a lot of other factors that I had jaggedly put together all together.
Mm.
And this suddenly, even one of the doctors was her surgeon. uh, so it was, you see, there were a lot of things that were there, but
Yes.
it, I it was, you know, with this, I can feel when it's jagged, and at that point, I really center myself, and I did everything to smooth that, and a lot of smoothing was releasing these thoughts that were not true, and trusting what I felt in my inside that felt good. Really, truly trusting it, and smoothing that line out. You know.
So your transformation inside of yourself created calm and a sense of well-being and happiness
Mhm.
within yourself. It sounds like peacefulness.
Yes, peacefulness.
And then how would you describe, do you feel that those energy waves, smooth, calm, even energy waves, affected your doctors? Or was that just your good energy at work within you? Do
Oh
you have
no.
a sense of that?
Well, as soon as I pulled out the paper and showed this, and I explained that this is what I'm expecting, and this is what I see, and that I believe. I felt everything in the room kind of shift. Oh, you know what? The nurse, even, who was kind of right behind me, she was doing, all of my vital stuff that had to be done while they were talking to me. After the doctors left, she even said, that worked. I mean,
Wow.
she was like, and she asked to look at it, and she looked at it, and she just, even she could feel the shift in the room, that it just everything kind of came down to a level that we could all then function at our very best.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. So everybody was able to be calm and functioning at their very best,
Absolutely.
which means good health. And so how is your health now after this
Great.
surgery?
Absolutely great. Actually, I mean, I had my last appointment with that doctor actually just here in January, and it's my last visit with her. I will never have to go back again. And so,
Wow.
very nice doctor, but I am released completely and completely healed.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Well,
Yes.
what a good affirmation to hear about the power of really settling into that calm, hopeful, confident vision for what it is that you want, and seeing that taking place. So if you were, because you were able to be extremely powerful in making this transformation inside of yourself. I feel
Absolutely.
honored to have been part of that process for you. And so
I'm so grateful.
so if you were to share with our listeners some words of wisdom, what would you share?
I do want to say that I have been able to apply this this life-changing lesson I learned in that experience, and apply it to other situations. I'm going to say to people that are maybe in health crisis or in some other crises like these, that to trust yourself, to trust the information that you are getting from this truly good place inside of you. And no matter what others may be saying or feeling around you, you have the power within you to change that and to trust that.
Such good
Is that
advice. Such good advice. I really like that. And we've been talking about the power of really being in sync with your intuitive, wise guidance. And you've just given affirmation for that, that you can settle into this powerful, peaceful place, hopeful place, and tune in and trust the power of that. So thank you so much for sharing your story, Valerie. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to sign off for now, and we will ask you to come join us another time.
Yay!
I'll
talk about relationships that time.
Okay, yes, because you said you were using this in other areas of your life.
I am.
So I will ask you to come back on and share that in another future podcast.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Valerie. That's all for today's Wavemaker podcast. Thank you for listening. I have so much more to share with you, so be sure to tune in next month. And remember, go to my website, www.melaniedean.com, and join our free Wavemaker community, where you will receive even more science-backed advice for unlocking your emotional power.